Good morning, it's MJ, the creator of the Crow Tarot and the Wise Dog Tarot, and this is a general reading for the collective using the Wise Dog. Today is Wednesday, August 7th, and I hope everyone is doing well. I feel like we're in this state of healing. I mean, just, on Sunday morning when I did the reading, I had mentioned El Paso, and I hadn't seen the news about Dayton at that point, and I just keep going back on thinking like how horrible it was, like Sunday morning, like waking up and thinking about like, oh, what happened in Texas, without even realizing that something else is like enough. All right, I'm just enough already. Something has to give. So let's see what energy these dogs bring back to us. Again, when I made the Wise Dog deck, it was created specifically with the idea of healing, of finding peace, and as a form of comfort. Whereas a Crow deck, I think, is very like upfront, and there's an honesty to that Crow deck that I tell you, I think it's just magic. But I think in the same way, I think the Wise Dog is magical in that I feel like it can sense, much like a dog would sense when we're in distress. So let's see what the current situation, what the story is here. Look who shows up again. Very interesting. Okay, so we're in this state of perhaps addiction. This may be being addicted to the news cycle. I don't know about you guys, but I know, addiction takes many forms, right? It could be you're addicted to, what's happening next. What's the latest headline? Checking your Twitter feed, or, what did our person who's in the White House, what he has to say, It's like I feel like that in itself is a horrible addiction. It lowers your vibration, and I tell you what, I am right there with you. I'm guilty of it. The next card is external influence. Are we smart enough to get ourselves out of this predicament? Are we clever enough, to play the game? Okay, let's see what the dogs bring back for advice to help us reconcile, to find that solution, to be that clever one. Look who shows up again. Hello, Zeus. The Ace of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So, let's get started, shall we? And it's interesting. I mean, even though this one's cut, I mean, when I pull them, I don't even, I'm not paying attention to that. It's like I just kind of let my hands guide the way. And here we have the Ace of Cups. So in the advice position, we already know what the Ace of Cups is all about. It's about connecting to the divine. It's about connecting our humanity, seeing each other, as human beings, having, this experience that we're all on this planet together. But so this Devil card right now in the present position, this is some sort of attachment. It's some sort of craving that you can't seem to let go, and because of that, in a way, it's like it has you, right? I mean, this could be anything. This could be, it could be drugs and alcohol, but I think that's so very simple. I mean, yes, drugs and alcohol, it's easy to be addicted to, but so are so many other things. Gossip. Are you talking about other people? That's that's an addiction as well. Do you feel this need to criticize or be judgmental because it makes you feel good, right? It puts you into a comfort zone. That's an addiction as well. Again, like checking the Twitter feed, seeing what the latest headlines are, almost like thriving on what I find to be exhausting. But I mean, thriving on all this political news, right? That in itself is a form of addiction. I mean, I remember when Barack Obama was elected, and everybody was like, "Well, now what are we going to do?" We're like, the Daily Show isn't going to be funny anymore, or it's like, or there isn't going to be that just constant cycle of news that we had, and funny now looking back, right? How novel and quaint the Bush administration seemed, but here we're in this place now where it's like it's this constant, where it's like we're constantly being injected with this drug of negativity. And I mean, at the risk of sounding too much like Marianne Williamson here, it's like we do have a problem, a collective problem, where we are all feeding on it. So anyway, this energy here of a devil, I feel, coming up in this present position, this may be something personal for you, where you're battling with an addiction, or you're battling with a belief that keeps you in place. But as a collective, I feel like we all are right now. I mean, especially with all of the events going on in this world, I feel like we're all just like, feeding off of this negativity. And so the energy that's coming to us, something is this external influence is happening, and I feel like it's asking us, like, hey, how clever are you? Can you break free from this? What are you doing to break your attachment, to this red meat that we have going on here, right? And so the Seven of Swords is, like, what do you get away with? Are you able to get everything? If life is a game, how are you playing it? Are you playing it for keeps? Are you playing it as an all or nothing strategy? Are you playing it just to get by? So to me, I feel like this energy here is, it's one of strength. It's one of understanding your capabilities, what you're able to manage mentally. If you're just like, I just need to get through this day, right? This is all I can handle. Like, I've reached my bandwidth, I feel like that's the question that this energy is going to bring to you, and it's going to have you evaluate your relationship with whatever this attachment is. It's going to ask you to become a bit more clever, perhaps a little more cunning in how you interact with this energy. It's going to ask you to think perhaps a little bit outside the box. See this as a game. Like I found, like, when you're teaching kids, like my daughter specifically, who has a more difficult time learning, turning everything into a game is the way to go. And maybe that's it with our life. Maybe this is the time that we start approaching our life not as something that we have no control over, but something that we're playing, and that we're able to create what we want to create. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the Seven of Swords comes in. It's like, this is where I feel like collectively we get together and we come up with solutions that will sever this relationship with the devil, the hold it has on us. The advice the dogs bring back with this is the Ace of Cups. And this is connecting on a deeply, on a divine level. This is where you recognize yourself as a spiritual being. This is where you see the human in you as you see the human in others, right? This is where you walk down the street and perhaps not ignore, what's going on, but maybe perhaps ask if you can lend a hand. This is where you take action, perhaps, in making and creating a better place, a better community. We just had, last night we had night out, and it was a wonderful opportunity to connect with your neighbors and see each of these people, not for the houses that they live in, but for the people that reside within them. And so this is a great time for us right now. It's summer, there's light, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. It's, it's summer, there's plenty of light. And there's this opportunity to get out there and connect with people who share, your worldview, perhaps. If you want to see this planet as one that's thriving and beautiful for all people, it's like, you want your community to embrace love and acceptance, opposed to hatred and disharmony. Get out there and find other people who share your views, and I feel like this is where we need to let go of this, whatever this energy of the devil is here, which I believe is collectively bringing us down. It's creating this idea of dehumanizing people and making it seem like it's okay, right? This is how they get you. This is how the devil, controls you, It makes you think that everything is okay when it's really not. And so, again, the Seven of Swords comes up here, and it's saying, hey, we've got to get a little bit more clever. We've got to get smarter about all of this and recognize that we are capable of bringing love and light into this world. If you want to eradicate the darkness, if you want to, create a place where our children can run free, and as a parent, this is something, like the fact that my child had a drill at her school, and just in case there's like an active shooter, like they had a drill, like what should you do? Her best friend has a bulletproof shield in her backpack. A 9-year-old goes to school every day. My daughter's best friend goes to school every day with a bulletproof shield in her backpack. Come on, people. My God, what is going on here? So, anyway, I don't mean to be a downer, but because of just everything that's going on, I feel like this is what we're getting, right? And this attachment, whatever this is, that we are all addicted to, if it's negative, like, whatever this negativity that we're all like, ooh, what's happening next, this is where I think it needs to end. And we need to start getting more positive as a whole. Each and every one of us, every little, I am right there with you. I am so not perfect. There are days where I'm like, oh God, like it was bad behavior on my part. But I feel like just recognizing it and then making those small steps towards change, getting clever, coming up with new solutions, we may not get everything, right? But at least we get something going here. So I hope this reading makes sense, and I hope I wasn't too much of a downer. But I do love you all, and I want everyone to go about their day and be peaceful and love one another and not feel fear or, concern, that something is going to happen. So we need to get to that place, right? Anyway, much love to you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Bye.